Hello there, I'm John Mencken, author of the Hands-on English with Linking Blocks program. My wife and I are going to take a few minutes to tell you how the Linking Blocks program was birthed, how it aimed to be. When I was doing graduate work, I remember one evening sitting down with a pencil and working on sentence diagrams, and was observing with some interest that there appeared to be certain sub-sentence structures like prepositional phrases, for instance, that could be used in various places in a sentence, almost like a sentence erector set. That concept fascinated me. I put my work away and filed it back in my mind, mentioned it to my wife when I got home, and that just remained a sleeper for a while. Some years later, when I was teaching high school English, I remember being on my break hour and walking down the hall of the high school past the woodworking shops, and the thought occurred to me that it might be handy to have wooden blocks that would somehow represent the various parts of speech, so that those could be manipulated and we might be able to get a handle on the language. That also remained a dormant idea for a few years until a need arose in our own home that would draw that out.
Hi there, this is Bev Mencken, and I have the privilege of working with John. But the story that goes back to John having the idea, it just sat on the back burner for a long time until many years later, our son David was learning English grammar, and I was trying different grammar workbooks, different textbooks with him. We were homeschooling at the time, and he was not doing well. Most of his grammar worksheets were coming up with F's, and he was really frustrated. And I tried all sorts of different textbooks and workbooks, and all of my ideas as an English teacher just weren't working. And so I just remember the day when he was sitting at his desk and he just put his head down, just was totally frustrated and exasperated and ready to give up. And so that gave us some great concern. So we decided, okay, well, the idea that John had earlier with the colored blocks, now it was time to try it. And so that's what happened. My husband ended up taking some wood and cutting it up and painting it, and suddenly blocks became parts of speech: blue nouns, red verbs, purple adjectives, and we started building all sorts of sentences, and I started writing sentences, and it was amazing because it really worked. After experimenting with our son with the blocks, we discovered that other people began to show interest, and I was asked one summer to teach a class, a grammar class, to some middle schoolers and high schoolers. And so we took that summer and we used a grammar workbook that was created by a well-known publisher. And since we had not written any of our own workbooks yet, but we used the blocks. So we were taking the sentences out of that workbook and we were building sentences with the blocks. And by the end of the summer, the students were building sentences that were as long as my table here, and had learned multiple parts of speech and were excited about what they were doing. They were also creating their own sentences where they would write them and then match the blocks to them. And so we had a lot of fun with it, and I was so amazed at what they learned and how quickly they learned it. And so that was probably the beginning of how we realized that, okay, this is something that we need to share because this could change a lot of students' lives.
So, to date, Beverly and I have created 7 linking blocks books These include teacher's guides, student workbooks, and writing notebooks. We've taught linking blocks in the classroom, in small groups, one-on-one here in our tutoring practice. I also offer a linking blocks course online. Do linking blocks really work in all of these settings with all these various ages and stages of students? And the answer is yes, they do. We are thankful to God and thankful to those many people who have come alongside and have blessed us and helped us with the development of the program. I want to invite you to check us out further at linkingblocks.com. Thanks for watching.